Hey everyone, join me in a winter wonderland as we discuss the Dell 27 all-in-one. Because it's 98 degrees in Virginia with like 100% humidity, so I would just love to be swimming in that little ice river right there. Anyway, this is kind of an interesting computer. We've got a lot to talk about and not a lot of time. And what we want to find out today is if this thing is any good and if you should buy one yourself. This is the EC27250 to be specific, Dell 27-inch computer. This is a part of, it's basically the Inspiron 27 in their new rebranded moniker. There's not a whole lot of changes done to it, except for the price. And that's kind of what I want to get into. This particular unit comes with a Core 7 150U processor, which is really more of like a productivity CPU than anything else. Intel's also trying to get a little slick with where they put their processors. You can get some Core 5s that are stronger than the Core 7s in specific aspects. Anyway, we'll get into that in another video. This one has 32 gigabytes of RAM. It can be optioned obviously with less of it, but this one's just maxed out. 1 terabyte NVMe solid state drive that's upgradable. RAM is upgradable, by the way, as well. User upgradable if you want to crack the thing open. Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. 27-inch FHD, around 400 nit brightness display. This one has a touch panel, some of them do not. This one is glossy, some of them are not. And you can wrap all of that up with a bow and put an MX 570A into it with 2 gigabytes of DDR6 RAM. All is to say that it is pretty powerful. However, before this thing was called the Dell 27 and it was just colloquially known as the Inspiron 27, you could probably scap one of these things up for about the $1,000 to $1,200 range. Now, of course, they're about $1,400. And no, this is not the fault of tariffs. This is just the fault of a greedy company. Now, I do like Dell a lot. In fact, they are, in fact, my favorite brand out there in terms of like what they offer overall. And I do like Lenovo and Asus and all that, but just generally speaking, I always find something for somebody in Dell. They also have some of the best customer service with some of the best warranties. In general, using and or buying a Dell is a pretty solid process. But where I'm starting to get a little bit triggered is that you have to now eke up into almost $1,500 in order to get what I would consider meaningful performance for an audience that doesn't really exist. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, the thing is when you start pairing a dedicated graphics card, you generally want to offer that for somebody that's either into gaming, that's a cute squirrel, for somebody that's into gaming, or for somebody that's doing like CAD work, graphics design, that kind of thing. Somebody where you just need a little bit of graphical oomph. And then of course you pair that with the Core 7, the 32 gigabytes of RAM, so then you expect that you're gonna get something that can go back in time once it reaches 81 miles per hour. The problem is that this computer kind of misses the mark there. And for almost $1,500, offering a paltry FHD panel in a 27-inch flavor is, honestly, there's no excuse for that crap nowadays. Even Apple's 24-inch iMacs now are coming in with higher DPI resolution screens. Dell really went cheap with the display here, and it's kind of a disappointment. It's not to say that it's not a good panel, because it is very color accurate, deep darks, true whites. It's a nice screen. But at $1,500, you sort of think that maybe you should get something just a little, a kiss on the chef's kiss. Something just a little sharper, where imagery and text just looks a little bit better. Because if you're going to be buying this thing for the performance, then you probably are engaging with things that require just a little higher fidelity. And this computer simply doesn't have it. Now the thing is because this is running an FHD panel, you probably can, in fact, do some AAA titles on this thing. Maybe a little bit of GTA 5, RDR2. You're not gonna be able to play them on max settings, of course, but you will be able to game on it slightly.
Easy, girl. Yeah, you're doing good.
As a courtesy, I'm going to toss up some B-roll of the benchmarks on this thing. All is to say that it is a very quick and powerful computer, but I just have a little bit of trouble in determining the exact audience for it, because it really isn't a gaming machine. After all, if you are an enthusiast gamer, you're going to be buying probably a desktop tower with a dedicated graphics card. And then if you're somebody that needs to do that whole workstation heavy hitting CAD and 4K movie editing, that kind of thing, you're also probably going to want to either get a dedicated machine or something that has an even stronger graphics card than just a simple MX5570A. Geez, I cannot get that. So then ultimately you're left with an audience that just needs, like, I guess maybe professionals in this, maybe like sound editors, people that are, have like a studio at home and they are constantly working with very heavy audio files, maybe lengthy podcasts, music with a lot of tracks. That's probably where this thing would do pretty well. If you're maybe like a photoshopper, maybe you're a photographer, something like that, and you want like a nice big display with a lot of color accuracy, and you want that heavy graphics card to be able to do like effects and fun things in Lightroom. But again, I argue that you probably still want something with a little higher fidelity than just FHD. Really the Achilles heel of this thing is the LCD panel. Again, it's just a little too outdated. And then in terms of outdated, you also have this big speaker bar at the bottom, but frankly, the speakers sound kind of tinny and exhausted. They get really loud and there's not a lot of distortion. I do appreciate that. But they just sort of sound synthetic. And again, there are other manufacturers that are putting in bangers of speakers into their 27-inch platform. And Dell really needs to up their game there. And then last but not least, this cheap little keyboard and mouse combo that they give you with it. The one it comes with is white, but it's the same model. Anyway, this cheap little keyboard and mouse combo that comes with it, it's like it's okay. Just everything sort of it's just kind of cheap feeling. I don't know. Let's get into the I/O here for a moment. You got USB-C here on the side, which I appreciate that. On the back, you've got, in order, 2 USB Type A super speed ports, 2 HDMI. One of them you can use as throughput. That is a nice feature there, especially if you're doing like gaming and you want to stream that stuff. Gigabit Ethernet jack, 2 more USB super speed Type A ports, and a TRRR-S jack and a full-size camera card reader. The opposing side affords you no additional I/O. And also having that camera card reader on the back is a little bit of a pain in the ass. I don't know why they didn't just put that on the side like right here. I mean, they put the USB-C port here. Surely they could have put that on the other side where it's a little bit more convenient for people to reach. In general, I don't know, I don't like this computer, if I'm being honest. I think it has a place. And for that matter, if you buy it, it will be reliable. It'll also have good customer service, good warranty. Dell pretty much offers on-site support for all of their computers these days. And they do send a person to your house pretty much no questions asked with motherboards, drives, whatever it is. I mean, it is pretty impressive. It is a better experience than HP or Lenovo. But I don't know, I just don't like this machine. It's just, it could have a little bit more, I don't know, it could just offer you a little bit more bang for your buck, I guess. Little camera pops up at the top, goes back down. Here's what that camera quality looks like now. This is the quality you can expect from a Dell 27 all-in-one. I don't know. I'm gonna stop complaining about this machine. It's a decent computer. It's overpriced, even for the hardware that you get. And I get it. Core 7, 32 gigs of RAM, a terabyte of storage, and a NVIDIA dedicated graphics card. Yeah, that is a lot of horsepower, even for $1,400. But there are other computers out there for the same price that are more powerful. So, I don't know. Dell, give us a better screen, and I think that this will be a literal home run of a machine. In the meantime, this platform needs a little bit of work. And also maybe put some I/O, I don't know, like at the bottom or something. Dell's monitors, some of them, you can pop down like a little thing right here and out comes some like USB ports. Something to make it a little more convenient. That's Apple's problem, right? Like on their iMacs, all their I/O is on the back and it's hard to get to. It's nice to be able to just, I don't know, shove something into the front. And there's surely a joke there. Shove something into the front and, I don't know, just more convenient. So, anyway. The Dell. I was going to say Inspiron 27. The Dell 27. Do I recommend it? If you need the power and you don't mind spending the money, I still think that it's, then sure. But ultimately, I'm a little disappointed. So, I hope this video was helpful. Please reach out to us in the comment section if you have any questions. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back with another video really soon.